Cortland Simmons with you here at the CS Racing Report on this 13th day of December in the year of our Lord 2018, and we're recapping the big two-year-old races at Los Alamitos out in California. And the big story, just so as much or more so than the horses themselves, was the venerable Bob Baffert with his brigade of two-year-olds that did very, very well in both the Starlet and the Los Alamitos Futurity. Let's take a look at the Starlet for the two-year-old fillies, going the same distance as the Los Al Futurity, a mile and a 16th on the dirt. The 8.5 furlongs featured Vibrance, the third place finisher in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies, behind the likely two-year-old champion KY.Oaks, who won that race by about 6 lengths, and Restless Rider. She was third in that race for trainer Mike McCarthy, along with two Baffert trainees of points of interest, that being Mother, who missed the Chandelier Stakes against Bellafina after finishing second to her in the Del Mar Debutante after she broke her maiden previous to that. And the fever that went around the barn affected her. She scratched from that race. Subsequently, she recovered, ran very well in the Rags to Riches on the undercard at Churchill Downs. So she was very impressive with her front running speed in that event, along with chasing yesterday the much ballyhooed daughter of Tappet, who's a half sister to Triple Crown winner American Pharaoh. She broke her maiden impressively, was sent out to Saratoga, got smoked in the spinaway in a race won by Sippacan Harbor with Restless Rider second. She finished seventh that day, got what Mike Smith called it, deemed as an education, not really the kind of education you want, finishing in seventh, but she has since come back, or had since come back prior to this, with two nice efforts in the Antioquia Stakes and the Desi Arnaz out in California prior to her run in this race. And what a thriller it was. She was able to come four wide, overcome a four wide trip, and beat ENAYA ARAAB 32-1 by a scant neck there, with of course the second place finisher finishing right ahead of Mother, who was 2.5 lengths in front of the fourth place finisher Oxy Lady. It was a great finish. Mother is a horse that has some serious speed, and she carried it very, very well. Was just overtaken by the top two in the end. A very, very tight blanket finish. And what does it say about chasing yesterday? Number one, it proved that she has certainly fully recovered from her disaster at Saratoga. She's come out of that somewhat unscathed, has put together 3 straight stakes wins, including her first grade 1. And the question is, how good is she? Where does she fit in with KY.Oaks, with Restless Rider, who since running second in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies was beaten by a horse by the name of Leora in the Golden Rod at the historic Louisville Oval. So that kind of knocks her down a little bit in the rankings, which we'll talk about. But interestingly enough, where does this fit? Where does chasing yesterday, along with the second and the third, fit in amongst these fillies? Not only KY.Oaks and Restless Rider, but the third place Vibrance, who actually disappointed in this race. She finished 6th. She saved ground, had no finish. She was flat. It's kind of a duplication of Nick's Go, who ran second in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile to game winner, another Baffert trainee. And then he subsequently ran poorly with the short turnaround, or the reasonable turnaround, in the Kentucky Jockey Club, where he finished 13th. So this may have been a case in point of these horses being wheeled back out there a little too soon, and they just weren't able to withstand the rigors of another top-end grade 1 race. So Vibrance is a horse that's still among the fillies that you want to talk about, but how good is she? Is this a case in point of one octagon appearance too many, and she was just a little bit fatigued? But she had a really good trip, and she just didn't perform. These other 4 horses, particularly the top 3, just ran her socks off. So does that knock her down, and will she stay permanently down? That's where it's going to be very, very interesting when you look at the rankings of these top 2-year-old, soon-to-be 3-year-old fillies. So again, chasing yesterday was impressive in being able to come 4 wide. ENAYA ARAAB was also very, very game in this stretch. And then Mother by no means fell apart. These horses were right there. It's going to be interesting to see how Bob Baffert is going to try to temper, if possible, Mother's speed. How far can she go? She's a daughter of Pioneer of the Nile, who of course is the sire of American Pharaoh. That's another tie-in similar to chasing yesterday. Daughter of the Triple Crown winner. So she's a half sister to Pharaoh. So the pedigree is definitely there. She certainly has tremendous speed, and she's performed very, very honorably in this spot. So the question is going to be, How far can she carry it? Will it be more advantageous for her to rate off of a horse in her first start? I wouldn't say stalked the pace, but she was dually in a joint front running position, and then she was able to overtake that horse. Maybe that's mother, and that's going to pose some possible issues because you're going to get some opposing speed, if not in every race, at some point. You certainly don't want too much of that in the K.Y.Oaks. So the key for her is to be able to relax and maybe have a high enough cruising speed in the fitness level, even if she is forwardly placed on what we call a moderate, legitimate, or fast pace to finish. That's going to be the key to her, and I think that most people would agree that her being able to relax is going to be tantamount to better performances over longer distances of ground. So that's probably the line on mother, but very, very good performance in finishing third. And ENAYA ARAAB, if you looked at her previous tape, she's a very, very nice filly. She looks like a type of filly that could be a 1.25 mile horse, maybe a Kentucky Derby horse. Not literally saying that's where they're going to be thinking about running her, but as her career progresses, if she stays, in a forward progression, she looks like a horse that likes some added distance and will be very interesting in terms of how she'll perform going into the Oaks. Because if the Oaks can get there soon enough, barring any setbacks, she could be very, very interesting in here. And then chasing yesterday, obviously, she's going to get a lot of attention just because she is a half sister to Pharaoh. She's put together 3 stakes wins in a row, along with mother, for dual reasons, being trained by Baffert and that tie into Pharaoh. But meantime, chasing yesterday wins the Starlet Stakes at Los Alamitos for trainer Bob Baffert over ENAYA ARAAB, with Baffert's mother finishing third.
Chasing yesterday, the stand side, any one of these 3. Chasing yesterday, ENAYA ARAAB, these 2 going on. Chasing yesterday, maybe a nose in front. Chasing yesterday wins the Starlet over a very game ENAYA ARAAB and mother right there on the inside.